everybody, welcome to another edition of RotterTube Reef. Today I'm going to talk about what I feed my corals. Alright everybody, so what I'm using now kind of started when I was having some problems with my flower pot coral and still am. A flower pot coral is a beautiful coral. It's usually, well, almost always in a rock form. It's like a rock, because it is a rock. It looks like a flower pot. Here's a photo of one now that I took off the web. Alright, so my flower pot coral, it was doing really well. It was, about 4 inches long. That's what she said. But then all the polyps went inside the rock. As you can see here, it's just not doing anything. They start to peek out maybe by a few millimeters, but they don't come out. Parameters are fine, nitrates are low, the water's at 78 degrees, everything's cool. These are really hard corals to keep. Many people have them and they die on most people within a couple months. I've had mine for about 1.5 years now. I was doing really well, and then the last 4 months it just kind of closed, like pulled into the rock, and then down the middle of the rock turned kind of brown, and then they died off because the base of these corals is calcium, the skeletons if you will, and once those die off they break off, so there's no more area for them to attach on to the rock, and it just becomes a plain bare spot of the rock. It was not fungus or anything like that. I did dip the coral a couple times in Coral X, I believe that's what it's called. You dip it in there, leave it in there for like a saltwater and Coral X solution, 10 capfuls for about 10 minutes, and if there's any parasites or bad things, it'll fall off the rock. I put that in a Tupperware container on the porch. Nothing came off the rock. Didn't seem to do anything because the coral was already pretty healthy. It's just not coming out, and I don't know why. So what I am trying now, and I dose it a couple times a week, is Goniopower or Gonio powder, however you want to say it. It's kind of funny because it says Justin, that's the guy's first name, last name is Credible, and they say Justin Credible's Goniopower. A concentrated blend of several varieties of zooplankton developed by Justin Credible to be the ideal food for raising and maintaining Goniopower, which is a flower pot coral. It doesn't smell bad. It kind of smells like a spice that you would cook with. But it's dry powder. And what I do is I'll just dip my finger in the aquarium, flick it off to get rid of the drips. Then I will put my finger in here so it's stuck to my finger. The powder is stuck to my finger. I just run my finger through the top of the aquarium, and the whole top of your water will have these finite little things for your Goniopower to eat and all your other corals. A lot of your corals cannot eat the meaty, like the frozen shrimp and all that. The Duncan corals can, but for your star polyps and the Goniopower flower pot corals, this is a powder, so it's a very fine food that they can digest really easily. It gets into the water and it spreads around. So that's what I'm using. Check it out. It's not too expensive. I think it was like, I don't know, $10.